Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Africa Means Business. Okay, so this is a business show where we discuss about everything business, small business, startups, and how we can take Africa to the next level in terms of business activities and all of that. So with me here is my co-host
Yes, so
Kenny
thank
Olagbejo.
you,
Kenny, how you doing
Lagbeju.
now?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. So with us here today, we have the legal practitioner, and he's going to be taking us through everything business and law. So many times people have been doing business the
Yes,
wrong
so
way, and they don't even put in consideration the legal aspects of
yeah,
business, and discussing a whole lot. Today we have Barrister Tosin Babatunde in the building. Go Ashekere. All right, so today we're having our legal practitioner in the building, and we're going to be talking about business and law. Several times, so many businesses are doing it wrong. They are not considering the fact that they have to take the legal aspect of their
yeah.
business very, very serious. Take, for instance, there was an issue that happened. Okay, before I get into that, all right, let me introduce our guest. We have Barrister Tosin Babatunde in the building.
Yes, so
Thank you for having me on your show.
All right, you're welcome. You're
you're welcome.
welcome. So today we're going to be talking about the legal aspect of
Yes, so
businesses, small businesses, startups. I want to start with registration of business. Now, so many people in Nigeria or in Africa, they just wake up one morning, they just think of one business, and they just wake up and start. Maybe they just create Facebook page, create
that
Instagram
is,
page, and they just start selling.
especially in this part of the world. Maybe we should rephrase the question. At what point should a business bring a lawyer on board? Is he in the middle, at the end of their planning? Is he at the
I
beginning?
think let's from the RB aspect,
The registration aspect. So businesses just sprout up and they just start selling and all that. So is it right to register your business before you commence, or you can just start selling after you've made some money, then you can go and do the legal entity, the legal registration and all of that. So let's get to know about all of these.
Yeah, thank you. For every business that has to, for everyone that wants to go into business, first thing is to bring legitimacy into it. And the legitimacy is registry with the right body, government body. And the body that is in charge of business registration in Nigeria is the Corporate Affairs Commission. Before you can start any business, it's a must to register. Otherwise, it will lack legitimacy. If a
Okay.
business is not registered, that means you are running foul of the law. You will not be able to pay your tax to the government. You will not be able to open an account, a corporate account, which brings legitimacy to your business, because as you are running a business, you are not running it as an individual. You are running it as an entity, and that entity must be recognized by the government. And it is when you register it, it becomes recognized by the government. So
Okay.
there are different business setup that can be registered depending whether it's a small scale business, medium, or big business. For example, for a startup who has not much capital, you can start with a business name registration. That is the name you want to use in trading the business can be registered.
Okay.
That is different from a company limited by shares. For example, a business name is the name you use in carrying on a business, like ABC. If your name is, you can use ABC Ventures.
Okay.
That means that name, nobody else can use it. Now, the difference between a business name and limited is that what you register in business name is just the name, it's just the business name. But in limited, the person registering that business is different from the company.
Okay.
Okay, let me break it down.
Please do.
In a business name entity, let's assume you are into tailoring.
Okay.
You register AZ Tailoring now. That name cannot cannot enter a contract because it's just a name you register, not an entity itself. For example, if you want to sue that business now, you have to put the name of the proprietor, the name of the person who registered it. Even if you want to pay tax, that business cannot pay. It is you, the proprietor, that will pay tax as personal income tax. Now, if along the line the business starts thriving, you start making money and you want to upgrade, you can upgrade the business name to a limited company. In that instance, there will not be a difference between you, the proprietor, and the business.
So when you say, sorry to cut short, when you say when the business starts making money, are you saying there's a limit to which a business name can make compared to limited?
Yeah, there are some contracts.
Yeah.
There are some business engagements a company limited can enter, which a business name cannot enter.
Okay.
For example, the law specifies some businesses to have a threshold share capital. A business name doesn't have a share capital.
Yeah. Okay.
That is why I said,
What about if they have a fund, maybe you have so fund, and as the business name, I have that fund, but I don't have the share capital. Will the law still permit me to operate such opportunity?
You cannot. Like I said, when you conceive an idea and you say, oh, I like this name, I want to use this name, you can register that name as a business from the word business name.
Okay.
That business name is also a recognized entity. Only that the limit to the businesses, there is the limit to the business it can do.
Okay.
Now, let's now look at it from this aspect. That business, if that business want to borrow money,
Okay.
it is the proprietor, it is the owner of that name that can borrow the money. Because the business is just a name you register.
I have a question. I have, as a business owner, one of my business is business name registration, and I have took a loan from a bank. They didn't give Ken Benjo. The bank is a big bank. Give my company, which is not limited, the loan.
Now,
not Ken
Now I will come to that.
Okay.
That is why I need to, if you want to get the gist very well,
Okay.
I need to make a comparison between a business name and a company limited by shares, which we end with any company you say with LTD or limited is a company limited. Now, when the company is limited by share, some of the features are one. Once you register a company limited by share, that company is an entity that is different from those who found that company. They are different entities. Now, if you establish a limited company, you can trade without people know who is behind that name. You can sign contracts without disclosing your name, just sign as a director, secretary. But when you trade under a business name, your name must always reflect. Now, let's go to the legal aspect. For example, if I want to sue a business name, I cannot sue that business name because it can't stand on its own. I cannot sue ABC Ventures. The case will be thrown out because they say it's not a legal entity. You have to sue Mr. ABC trading under the name and style of ABC Ventures.
Okay, so that means if I want someone to, I have to go and get a limited liability so that they will sue the business, they will not sue me.
Now,
I want someone to sue me.
I'm not committed. Now, when it comes to a company limited by share, LTD, an LTD is on its own. If that company can enter a contract in his own name, not in the name of the directors or the shareholders, It can acquire a property. The company can buy a property and they will say ABC Limited is the owner of this property.
Yeah, not in the yeah.
Now, if the ABC Limited acquire a loan,
Okay.
that loan is for the use of the company. They cannot go after the asset of the director or
Okay. Okay.
it is an entity on its own.
Hmm.
There is something we call veil of incorporation.
Okay.
Nobody can say we want to see who are behind this company. Except
Sorry, can I come in?
This
So there are these businesses that some 2-3 years ago when they launched. Can I say the name?
Be careful, don't
say
Some company that they launched, they
it.
collected funds from
Billions of
people
naira.
and they ran away.
Ran away.
Why were they looking for the
Now.
owner of the company? Why not chase the business?
Now, when I say veil of incorporation, the law is that in Saloma and Saloma is a locus classicus that a company is a different entity, different from the shareholders and the directors. Before you cannot go after the director or the shareholders, you must prove that there is a fraud.
Okay. Okay.
That they apply for a loan to buy equipment for their studio, but now the owner of the company has converted the money to buy car or to marry another wife.
Okay.
Because what the law expects is that if that company borrows money and they acquire, before you get the loan, the borrower, the creditor, will have assessed what do you want to use it for?
Okay.
You want to use it for your studio, to buy camera, they know that if at the end you couldn't pay, they can go and lay claims to those things. Now, if you deviate, you are saying, invest, we are into real estate, invest. At the end, people invested, there is no property to sell. Now, that is, they cannot say, who are behind this company? Because the company cannot function without human being. Human being at the hand and the leg upon which it works. So before you can go and unveil the incorporation that is who are behind it, you must specifically prove that there is a fraud.
I have a question.
Okay.
Like a real life example, a client bought property from a company. At the end of the day, he couldn't access that property. The company has nothing again to his name. We wrote to the directors, give us the money. They said, no, you cannot sue the company because you
So who are the complaints? That is my question. Where are the complaints then? If I have to sue
we now want to go to court and we have to unveil the directors. And we have to prove that the money they collected was not used for the purpose of that company.
So at that point, it is now lawful to go after
them. And it is a very slippery ground. Most time, we always ask you, did you enter into contract with? That is why if you see banks, they will collect a guarantorship from individuals. They can tell the director or the shareholder that guarantee the company that will pay this money back.
Okay.
You can never see them just giving loan to companies without an individual guaranteeing it.
Okay, I think that makes sense.
Why they get a letter of indemnity from another bank?
Okay.
That please give us indemnity. If there is a case I'm doing. They enter contract with Lagos State government to build some place. I don't want to. The bank said, okay, if after collecting money from the government, they couldn't do the job or they didn't do it satisfactorily, how do we get that money back? The bank, there are a lot of things that go behind the scene. For example, recently, I have somebody who wanted to get multi-million naira contract from Dangote. He has tabled his application and I said, let somebody who has a property worth 250 million
So
to guarantee for you. They know they cannot go after the company.
the company.
But now you have given them your CFO that I guarantee this company. That means if the company is not doing well again, there are a lot of companies that have gone into bankruptcy. But you can go to the person who guaranteed it.
Please,
I was
please,
talking
I have
to a
a question.
financial-
I need to ask this question.
Okay.
Now, you said I should go after the company. Now, let's say I want to do a business with you, and maybe something I went wrong. You now said I should not go after Abi. I should go after the company. If you or Wale is the one that signed it, can't I go after the somebody that signed the deal?
That is what
Abi,
I'm saying.
companies, there must be somebody that signed now.
No, that's what he said.
Corporate, there's something we call corporate personality. That is why when you register a company, that company is paying tax in his name, in ABC Limited, not in your own name. That company, that's why you see some company, when they acquire cars, they write the name of the company. Because that name they write, if they might not even buy that car in the name of the company, their creditor is running after them, they just go to printer, claim this thing. If the name of the car is in the name of Kenny, they will say, no, it's not the company that owns it, it's Kenny. But there are ways around it. That is where getting a legal practitioner involved in businesses is very, very important. Because the law is the law. There are a lot of cases that are thrown out. They will sue ABC Limited. They will now sue Mr. Abbey. The court will even ask, this Mr. Abbey, did you enter any contract with it? They say, no, my lord is the director of the company. They say, show me any document that he has entered as an indemnity or as a guarantor. He said, my lord, no. They say, go and remove the name and sue the company. Go after the company.
And that is why, you see, I was talking to a financial company. They were giving loan, right? But when I told them that, do you guys give business? They said, no, they don't give business. They're giving salary earners up to 10 million naira loan. So now, I'm now seeing the reason why these financial people are scared of giving business. Because they know that they can't easily go after this business.
I see.
Yeah,
That is those who race as limited, though.
Yes. Even, do you think you can even get a loan without a guarantor?
Right.
Now, we are not talking
Some
about
banks
people who use business to perpetrate fraud. Perpetration of fraud is not only limited to collecting loan and running away. You can be using a company. For example, you set up a company. You say this company, we are selling equipment. You started collecting money from people who will supply and you run away. They might not sue you in a civil matter. They can petition individuals that collected the money in a criminal. When we are talking of this entity, that a company is different from individual, it does not apply to crimes. Okay. It does not apply to crime because now there are a lot of companies, they will charge the company and they will charge the owner in a criminal matter. If they now find the company guilty, for example, you say you are a company, you are selling land, you've never gotten your land, they can sue, they can charge, you can petition them to EFCC or to any law enforcement agency. If you sue them in court, I want to get your money back, you might not succeed against the owner. But if you go through the criminal aspects, the law does not protect the director in the criminal aspects.
Okay.
But in civil matter, there are different. Civil is different from criminal matter. But in criminal, you can petition that ABC Limited collected money from me and he promised to give me so thing within 6 months. He has not given me. They cannot. You petition the company. Now, the law enforcement agency will now convey Who is behind this company?
Directors.
Director. Where is the money?
Hmm.
If they can charge the company, they can charge the director. If they find them guilty, you will go to jail. Why they will delist the company?
Mm.
Because the company cannot
There
go
must
to
be a
jail.
way. I mean, people must be
Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
The company cannot go to jail. But we are not, when we are talking of registration company, we are talking about the civil action now. That is the difference between the business name and, but in business name, if the business borrow money, they will go after the proprietor. We call it a proprietor. Because you are not a director. You are just a proprietor who just register a name. But in limited, you are a director.
Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now there are issues that people are, this is just offshore of forward. People are recently are shouting about a particular real estate firm that collects money and only sell receipts. Collect money and sell receipts. Why are these people not, suing these directors and all of that? People just come online and keypad warriors. They are fighting. Open your comment section. I will come there. Is that where you get your money from? So why are people not taking these steps towards recovering their funds and all of that?
Well,
Education.
like I said,
Yes.
like I said, we are countries that want something very fast. Over the years of practice, one thing I've discovered about us is that we want instant miracle. In the sense that somebody bash your car now. Instead for you to say, okay, is there insurance? Let's exchange insurance paper. Or see, you are wasting my time. Just give me 10,000. Let me go and fix the car. Instead for you to do the property. Now, there are a lot of instances. I have seen a situation where somebody just complained, I used to ship goods from US. The company that used to bring my goods, they've lost my goods. And there are a lot of stories. Wonder, I said, how you can sue this company? He said, barrister, no, it will take time. I don't want problem. I don't. Now, we use two people as a test case study. They got their money back. Sometimes it might take time. And depending on the money involved, if it is below 5 million, I can show you in Lagos State now, there is a small claim court. Within 3 months, you will get your judgment. Now, back to your question. People, one, they don't even want to pay lawyers. You went to go and buy of 10 million. Now, you don't even ask your lawyer, please read this form before I buy this thing. That was a guy that walked into my office. He gave me all these flyers. The rest they always give. I said, lawyer, I want to buy land there. Help me look at it. I said, okay, pay my consultation fee. Lawyer, I don't get money. But you want to buy land of 12 million. You don't want to. I said, okay, you can go. He said, okay. After paying, I look at the leaflets. They quoted some survey there. I call somebody in the soldier. Please let me check. I said, lawyer, don't buy it. So it's a acquire land.
See now. See what we're talking about.
I now told that my clients, go and tell them that this land they want to sell to you is under acquisition. They convince him and say, don't worry, later in the future, you people will go and sort it with the government. The government will release it. I said, you have a choice to buy and not to buy. If you can risk it, government might release it, they might not release it. It's at your discretion. Now, people who are buying estate up and down without doing their due diligence, that is the first thing. All the houses they are demolishing, it's not that the government is bad. If you do your due diligence, you will know that this thing is a no-go area.
So what about, I know some land, they are genuine, but the owner of those land, they are greedy. They can sell one land, to 7 people. What about that?
That still comes down to your due diligence first. I have instances where, okay, lawyer, I like this building. The building is not at the completion stage. There are some agreements we enter with the person while paying. But some people just be paying without, and when maybe you just agree orally, this house is 100 million. They say, okay, just to show yourself, pay 50 million. When the house got to completion, you pay the balance. Before the house gets to completion, the seller must have said a higher bid that will now tell you, please take your 50 million, I don't sell again.
Mm.
What will you do if there
When
is
there's
no
no contract.
legal
Legal.
there is no binding agreement?
Hmm.
The problem we have in the society are that people are taking the wrong step. Somebody sent me a contract over the weekend. Lawyer, I want to terminate this agreement. Help us write a termination letter. I look at the agreement. I said, did you read it before you sign? He said, lawyer, what happened? I said, well, I'm your lawyer. You went behind me because you don't want to give me money to terminate. He said, what happened? I said, look at social clause. Yeah, I said, if there's any dispute, we have to refer to an arbitration and we have to appoint the arbitrators. I said, for how much? For 60 million now. He has paid half, remaining 30 million. If you want to go to arbitration, at least 2 of you might contribute maybe 30 million to appoint an arbitrator. What? To get the venue. Though arbitration is good, but it's good for big contracts. Not for all these 10 million, 20 million. Because before you start appointing, if at least 2 of you can spend minimum of maybe 5 million or 10 million to appoint the arbitrators. I said, now you can't go to court. You must first go to the arbitration. He said, lawyer, thank God. Even look at the director that signed. He didn't put his name. I said, his name is not necessary.
Wow.
He said, it's not necessary. He signed as a director. You don't even need to know who signed. He said, what can we do? I said, well, pay. That money you didn't pay at the beginning.
Pay now.
You pay now.
Where you were
Without
running from?
for a way forward.
Hmm.
There are some things we call small print in agreements.
Yes.
Small print, you will not read it. After giving you the document, they just say, after signing this document, if you want to sell this property, you cannot sell it on your own. You have to give it to us to sell for you, and we take social percentage.
They will write it very small below it.
But you will not read because the money is in your account, and you want to be a landowner, or you want to enter to agreement. Instead of you to say, lawyer, please read for me before I sign. No, you will sign.
Original copy received by.
To the extent of ordinary tenancy agreements. Some people have signed tenancy agreement, and what they put there is a notice to quit that you are entitled to 1 month notice, and you are a yearly tenant, and it's binding on you. After giving you 1 month notice, you'll be shut up and down. I'm a yearly tenant, I'm entitled to 6 months. Your lawyer will say, don't worry, we go to but you sign. You say, now 1 month they should give you. Now,
I know we don't have
Before we sign our death sentence. Anyway, we've done. So now, let's get back to the business aspect and the legal aspect, because I know we've diverted so well into people's legal. So now I'm asking, can I register a business name and still have the authority to pursue someone that's done the trademark of my business name? Or let me put it this way: if after registering a business name, can somebody else trademark that name? Is it possible?
yes, it's very possible because these are different organizations. A business name is different, is a name you want to use in carrying on a business, a particular business.
Okay.
A trademark, you can trademark a name and a signage or a logo. There are a lot of things you can trademark: name, logo. Now, that name you trademark is different from
the business name.
business name.
So who has the upper edge? If I had the trademark,
Now, what you
And
can
who
use,
can sue?
what you can use for your business, because their usage is different to an extent. Like a business, you are using it to carry on business. You can
What
use
about
it to open an account.
if you are doing the same thing?
The person doing a trademark, he cannot use the trademark to open an account to carry on business. He can only use it as a signage for his business.
Okay.
So it's advisable, if you know that your name is unique, as you register it, trademark. Because nobody is a monopoly of any idea. As you are thinking that thing, another people are thinking it. That's why you will just discover. Some people will come and say, lawyer, register this name for me. I said, give me an alternative name. Like that name. I've been taking care of that name. Even it is my pastor that called me and gave me that name. I said, this name, I will just do a general search. I won't pay. I will say, 5 People already
Using
using
that
the
name.
same name. Abes Ventures, Abes International Company, Abes Trading.
Mm.
But barrister, that name is special to me. I said, okay, bring money, let me search. You will see that they will deny you. That is why when you conceive
An
any
idea.
idea,
Okay, just
do anything you need to do about it. Do you get? Do everything, and you say there is no way you can do a business successfully without involving a lawyer,
definitely.
no matter what.
Definitely.
Some even have ideas they want to say, but they are scared that other people might steal it. That's where you have to get a lawyer and do an NDA. Before I disclose this, let's sign some agreements. Because if that idea leaks somewhere, I will know it's from you.
So you just said something now that several people are conceiving same idea. I have this idea and I've already signed an NDA with somebody else, and before I know, I saw the idea somewhere else. Do I have the rights to go and fight that person without knowing?
Where you see, is a you need to, before you can say I want to go to court, you will have your facts, you will have your evidence.
That is it.
It's not that you just sit as I want to
You want
sue.
to sue without any proof.
Your lawyer will ask you, what are the facts and evidence you have? Because that is what you will present.
All right.
Okay,
So
let's go.
Kenny, ask your question.
Let's quickly go on a short break.
Okay.
After this break, we'll come back.
All right, welcome back to still the African Main Business Show, and we still have the legal practitioner barrister Tosin Babatunde, and we're still discussing about your business and
The law.
the law. All right, so Kenny, you have a
So
question.
I have this question. So we have so many businesses, young businesses, that are yet to register their business, and they are in business. Is there any form of punishment? I know that in a foreign country, you can't just wake up. I was having a discussion with somebody in Qatar. You say you can't just wake up one day that want to start doing business. But in Nigeria, people can wake up in the morning
And start selling
business.
something. And start-
Is there any law against that, or is there any punishment against that?
Well, to my own mind, the law frowns at it because you are making money without giving government its own portion. Now, if you are also doing a business without recognition from the government, that means you can use it to defraud and you will run away and without any traces.
But no enforcement.
Part of our
Shukura selling tomato.
part of our problem in the country is lack of enforcement.
Are you saying my Mashukura selling tomatoes should register his business?
Business name at least.
Yes, that is why it's a
The POS.
CSC has been advertising. Register your business at a very small.
People selling biscuit on the streets, they should register their business too.
Do you know if the business will grow more than that? You know, when you register a business, it gives you that sense of responsibility. This business that I've registered, I want to also take it to the, at least after you register it, you say, let me also open a bank account. Let them be sending money to that my business name. People will start taking you serious. Okay, you are selling. Can you be selling it in large bulk for example, now you can a director of a company can just park in your front and say, Madam, can you be supplying us biscuits in our company? They can't be paying you into your personal account. If it's a good company, they can't be paying money to your account.
Yeah.
They say the company is all serious because at the end of the year, if they want to do auditing or accounting, they say, "Who's this Mrs. Lagbaja you are sending money to every time?"
That happened to me
You
many years ago.
you cannot trace it.
Yeah.
So those,
That's why for people supplying diesel to banks, if some of them run small businesses, it's not big. Some are supplying something less than maybe 50,000 a month, but they pay into their accounts.
to the business account.
Yes, so that they will say, "Oh, who is this? So oh, is the person supplying also?" Unlike individual can just say, maybe they are dashing money to people, or they are using the person, but it has to have records. So a serious-minded, when we are talking about business, we are talking about serious-minded people, not just people who are just are doing business for the doing its sake.
Mm.
People who are serious minded. It's like when I was talking about image rights, and they say, and some people will just put Baba Sube picture in their wedding salon. I say, even Baba Sube will not sue them because he knows that they are nobody. Become big now and be using his image. You will see that we come from somewhere and say, this is why you will pay for it, otherwise I take you to court. That is a serious minded business. I can open my barber shop now and put picture of any star there.
Of the governor of Lagos State.
They will not talk because they know that even if they carry me up and down, I am common. But now, if the thing is booming, they say, we have to talk to this man to bring it down up here.
Now,
desist.
This kind of people that we just talked about now, that the people selling tomato, they are under the macro. We have the macro, we have the micro, we have the small, we have the medium MSMEs. All right. So those people under the macro and under the statistics, they are the largest set of businesses. They are the largest, and most of them are not registered. Is there any repercussion that
They are not helping themselves because most of the time, for example, in Lagos State, there are a lot of loans for this Lagos State Trust Fund gives loan 1 million, 5 million to businesses. If you are not registered, you cannot access it. Even if you want to get loan from banks, if you are not registered, they won't give you as an individual because you must have registered, have a bank account. They can pay the money into.
But there are these other financial institutions that normally give these people loans.
But the
So
interest is crazy.
Are we going to say they
Are
are
they regulated?
Exactly.
The interest
Some
is
of
crazy.
the loans are not regulated. We have
For such loan that is not regulated. Yes, for such loan that is not regulated. Now, if the receiver defaults, can the company sue the defaulter?
Of course.
And they are not regulated.
Because they can't just give you loan without signing something.
Borrowers now.
They can't, but they have to take them to court. They cannot lock them up like some people used to do. That is part of what we are saying, that some people, they lack the legal knowledge. Instead for them to consult. Now they say, I heard that some loan company will carry your load, will lock in the toilet. That is very wrong. See? That is very wrong. And if you're in Lagos, you have the opportunity to work through. We have the Office of Public Defender. They can represent you for
But at the
free.
same time, why are they collecting money they will not pay?
Now, I'm going to ask the question.
Well, if they cannot pay, there are procedures to recover the money.
Okay.
It's not by going to self-help. Self-help is not encouraged.
Now, let me ask this question for the general public out there. Now, there are these loan shark companies where after you collect loan from them and you didn't pay on time, they start publishing your debt poster, or they start, harassing and all that. Is it legal? And if it is not, how can those individuals, sue this company?
You see, those loan sharks, they profile their customers too. If they want to give you loan, what are you doing? I'm a lawyer. I want to give lawyer. I'm a business. What is it? I know they give people because they know. They profile their people. Somebody that collected loan of 20,000, is it the one that will go and sue them? Or somebody that collected loan of 50,000? What they are doing is wrong, legally wrong, and morally not right. They have a right to checkmate them, but people will not. They prefer to look for a shortcut than to enforce their rights.
But the defaulters too are wrong. Why would you collect money?
Yes.
I had one guy said he has collected money from all
the loan waste,
and he said you will not pay.
The blame is on the two sides. Before you grant loan, you do your due diligence to, can this person pay? What does he have what does he have to as an asset that we can lay our hand on? Then, because there are laws are meant to protect us from being from behaving like animals. There are people that they have criminal tendency. They want to collect, even they can collect loan from CBN, and they made up their mind that they will not pay. But the law is there. Before the bank will grant the loan, they have to protect themselves. The fact that you drop your phone here does not mean they will blame you. Why did you drop your phone? And they will also blame the person that took the phone. That did they put it in your pocket? Why did you pick another person? So the owner of the phone should protect himself by not dropping it where they will take it. Person giving out loan should do because they're true. Because of the, I heard if you borrow like 100K between 1 week, it can escalate to 150 or 200.
They like that.
So, guy man die, guy man bury him. That is what I will say about it.
So those loan sharks, I think it's just a mobile app, something you just go there apply. They don't even have time to be asking you what is your assets.
I don't even have to use app. I don't use them.
It's been a wonderful time on today's episode. We discussed about business and law. You know how to impose the legal aspect of your business and prevent you from entering serious trouble. How you can also allow them to sue your business rather than suing you. Don't let them sue you. All right. So this is African Main Business, and we are also bringing up a platform called the AfriStarter. Now, what does the AfriStarter do? AfriStarter, we're looking at bringing entrepreneurs that are looking to raise funds. If you have a unique idea, we're supposed to talk about patenting. Okay, if you have a unique idea, you have a unique product, you have a unique movie, you have unique content you want to come up with, and you don't have funds, you can go on AfriStarter and get people to fund your idea, to fund your products for you. More details about this is coming soon, and you don't
official launch by month end. We're going to do the official launch. All
right, thank you for staying tuned to the African Main Business. We're also going to be having the legal juggernauts. The legal juggernauts. We are still going to be bringing, because we have a whole lot to discuss about. We don't have time. We don't have much time today, but in subsequent episode, we're going to bring him back, and he's going to divulge so many things we need to know about your business and the law. You don't want to miss next episode on African Main Business. Trust me, this is a platform you want to tell somebody to tell another person to tell that another person to tune into. Stay tuned, and God bless you.